The finals of the World Cup. As a Real Madrid Ronaldo fan, never in my life, of me existing, this my entire life, right? Did I ever think that I would be sitting here talking about a final between the future of Barcelona and the history of Barcelona, going toe to toe for the World Cup title? I think I'm depressed. Yes, I am depressed, but ladies and gentlemen, it is what it is. A prediction video needs to be made. You guys love it. You guys are laughing. You guys are having the best time of your life. Ronaldo fans, if you're not having the best time of your life, it's very understandable. I mean, especially during this World Cup, but it is what it is, right? The predictions of the final. Now, I wanted to wear a suit, but I feel like I'm going to keep it for my review after the game of the final, obviously. And I was lazy to bring a suit, I'll be honest. But I had this on instead. Yes, an Argentina shirt. No, I'm not supporting Argentina. Relax. I'm a Ronaldo fan. I obviously respect Lionel Messi. But Spain versus Argentina. Where do I start, man? Before I start, subscribe if you're new to the channel, man. Where do I even start? Is it from the fact that what we saw against France, what Spain did to France, absolutely not humiliating, not embarrassing, but destroying France? Just literally leaving no crumbs and eating that team alive, man. That game could have easily went 4-0, 3-0, you name it, man. That was the most dominant one-sided game I have ever seen in a World Cup game, if I'm being honest, man. If I'm being totally honest. Maybe second comes like Portugal versus Uzbekistan or something like that. And we all know what happened there. But it's insane. It's insane that I've never thought that France would go out this early. I thought France is going to win the entire thing. I thought that France 90% is gone to the final and winning the World Cup. But obviously I said in my last predictions video as well, I said that the only team that is going to stop France from reaching that final, the only team that France fears, not only in this tournament, but every single tournament outside of World Cup, in the World Cup, it's going to be Spain. Spain is the only team that counter-attacks the football that France plays, man. We saw a clear indication of individual stars, and depending on individual stars, like the Kylian Mbappe's, Olise's, Dembele's, all of that individual stars in a team, right? And we saw the difference between them and the Spain's team, which is literally like a family, so compact, no main star, you could say. Even Lamine Yamal, obviously he's the most known player there, but not really, because he is still a young kid. He's 19 years old. He's not the level of Lionel Messi, Cristiano Ronaldo's, Neymar's. He's still not there. He's not the main star, right? He is still a part of the system. He's still part of a team, and he needs to listen to the coach. While on that side, Kylian Mbappe, I mean, Deschamps needs to listen to Kylian Mbappe. Dembele needs to listen to Kylian Mbappe. I know the dictator memes and jokes is going around, but that's actually a reality in that team. And I think Zidane, who recently just signed for France and to coach the France national team, I think that is the biggest positive for France in my opinion, right? But Spain dominated. I told you guys, you need to... listen, my predictions video is so goated, by the way, because I tell you how it is. I literally spoiled the video for you, right? I told you guys, you look at the weaknesses of France team, their fullbacks and the midfield. I think Spain has better midfield in the midfield, right? And on fullbacks, I don't think they are good enough to stop a Lamine Yamal, to stop whoever, like Alex Baina even, they couldn't stop, whatever it is. And that showed. Koundé was insanely bad in my opinion, kept losing the ball, cannot attack. And Digne obviously gave away a penalty. You know what happened, changed up the game. And then we go to the other game, obviously, Argentina versus England. Again, I missed with my predictions. I went 0-4-2 in my semi-final predictions, and I said that Argentina is going to lose against England. But as soon as they started with the national anthem for both teams, right, that's when I knew that Argentina is going to win. The first 10 minutes of the game, when I saw the intensity, the Argentina players literally breaking those English player legs, maybe it was bigger than football. We all know what happened in the political side of things. Maybe it is bigger than football. Maybe they wanted to do it for the people. Maybe they wanted to do that. I don't know what the intention was, but they were coming hard, and there was no absolute way that Argentina would have lost that game. They went 1-0 behind, obviously, and I think Tuchel made some terrible mistakes. We know what happened. We already covered all of these games, ladies and gentlemen, if you're not aware. And yeah, Tuchel lost. They parked the bus. Didn't go to their favor. Stupid mistake from the manager. Stupid mistake from Jude Bellingham, who provoked Lionel Messi. And Lionel Messi did this face to him, or whatever that was, right? And he put the belt to 2 assists, finishes the game, finishes the GOAT debate, in my opinion, even more. I mean, it was finished years ago, but it is what it is, right? And then you take a look at this final. Now, I know everyone was saying, save football or whatever, right? Sure, for Real Madrid and Ronaldo fans, this is the worst type of final you could have, right? But if you're a football fan, I need to speak as a football fan now, right? This is the biggest story in football history, probably. I know that Argentina versus France, the last World Cup, might be, it is the greatest match of all time, probably, or even the greatest match in football history, or greatest match in World Cup history, whatever you want to call it. I think, in my opinion, that World Cup final, Argentina versus France, was the biggest game in football history, in my opinion, right? Or sorry, best game in football history. This game right here might actually go one up that game. Because the story, the sheer amount of weight this story has is unbelievable, man. Like, you do not understand that a 19-year-old Lamine Yamal is going to this game wearing the number 19 shirt, who Lionel Messi wore when he was a kid. He wore the number 19 shirt, and Lamine Yamal wears it because of Lionel Messi, right? And almost 19 years ago, there was a picture of Lamine Yamal and Lionel Messi together. Yes, when Lamine Yamal was a baby, Lionel Messi went, very coincidentally, right, went to bath like a kid, give him like shower or whatever, and he went there, and it was Lamine Yamal. And they took a picture of it, and that picture is actually real. UNICEF confirmed it. Unbelievable that on 19th of July, they're going to face each other, man. Do you know how insane that is? You don't understand how insane that is, man. Everything is number 19. Everything is just going as it is, like it's scripted, like it's rigged. This will even add more heat to the scripted talks of FIFA and Argentina, maybe. But you cannot script this. This is literally greatness. Sure, I wanted France to go to the final. I wanted maybe England to go to the final. I wanted personally France versus Norway for the final. So it would be a step for the next generation. Mbappe versus Haaland. We could have the rivalry and it could take us for the next 10 years, right? Because football needs a rivalry like Ronaldo and Messi, in my opinion, to make it even more fun. Ronaldo and Messi are gone. Messi has one more game. Ronaldo is already in the Saudi League doing his thing. Messi in the MLS doing his thing. Last World Cups, right? They're gone forever, right? We need the new generation. And I think this Argentina versus Spain game, I didn't want to admit it, but this was, for me, the biggest game you could have, man. You have the history of Barcelona, which is Lionel Messi. And then you have the future of Barcelona, which is Lamine Yamal. This is like, Kung Fu Panda? You know what that master, Shifu, I believe his name was? He raised this kid, this tiger named Tai Long, and Tai Long eventually became big. He trained his best, and then that brother went against his master at the end, right? I am pushing 30 and I just gave you a cartoon reference. Yes, I did. But that is what's happening. The big cat, the big tiger is Lamine Yamal, and the master obviously is going to be, or the master Kung Fu here is going to be Lionel Messi, right? It's insane that we're getting this story, man. What will happen? Will Spain win? Will Lamine Yamal win and finish and just, finish the past? Finish history. Not finish, obviously, but you know what I mean. Just take, what do they call it? I forgot what they call it. Take the flag or something from the past and go to the next generation, right? That's a beautiful story in its own. If Spain wins, that's such a beautiful story, man. Him taking it to the next generation. Passing the torch. That's the term. Passing the torch. Messi passes the torch to Lamine Yamal. Lamine Yamal wins the World Cup, has a Euro. Now it depresses me that obviously they will say that he will have a better international career than Ronaldo because he already has a Euro. He'll probably win a Nations League. Did they win a Nations League? I believe they won a Nations League, right? I don't remember. But he will have a World Cup as well. And you know that, right? But ladies and gentlemen, will that happen? Or the other side of the history? You have Lionel Messi, who is ending his football career soon. And he ends it with a World Cup. A second World Cup, a back-to-back World Cup. 3 World Cup finals in 6 tournaments that he has played in. That is unreal numbers, man. Will he end it with a World Cup? That's literally the hardest thing as a football fan. When you take a look at both situations, you're like, okay, this guy obviously has a World Cup. He finished everything. There is no, if he wins another World Cup, it would add to nothing if you really look at it, right? Debates are done, everything is done. He is the best in history, right? But then you take a look at the other side. You're like, he never won a World Cup. Sure, but he's still young, he can win it another day. You could say that, but with football, let's be honest, if you reach the final, it's going to be very hard to consistently reach the finals, unless you're Argentina, Lionel Messi, obviously. But will Lamine Yamal reach the final yet again in the next 5 World Cups he's going to play in? Probably not. Most likely not. So maybe giving him a World Cup would mean a lot, right? But at the same time, with the performance that Lionel Messi gave at the age of 40 years old, how can you not give him a World Cup? Give him the World Cup, and I genuinely think he wins the Ballon d'Or as well, because no other player is better than Lionel Messi in the world, in my opinion. Just these 7 games that he played in, he proved everyone that he's still the best player in the world. Even at MLS, you saw clips. I react to those clips on my Instagram. You guys see how I react to those, right? He's still insane. He is still the best player in the world if he wants it to, right? Now that Ballon d'Or, I don't think he cares about the Ballon d'Ors anymore, right? But he deserves this World Cup in my opinion. I think who deserves more, Lamine or Messi? It has to be Messi, man. Lamine Yamal, he has 1 goal this entire tournament. Sure, he has played unbelievably, obviously off the ball. He has been contributing a lot. His dribbling for the team, he has been good, right? But not the best World Cup performances. Lionel Messi had the best World Cup performance out of everyone. He deserves a World Cup. And it would pain me as a football fan to see Lionel Messi cry, but at the same time, if he does go out by Spain, I would be happy for Lamine Yamal at the same time. This is literally one of the hardest choices. I think if you're a Barcelona fan, this is even harder. Well, not really, if I'm being honest. If I were in the same shoes as you and I was a Barcelona fan, I would probably loved Barcelona because of Lionel Messi, right? And I think your heart will choose Lionel Messi every single time, right? But maybe your brain is telling you Lamine Yamal, because Lamine Yamal is going to be here for the next 10 to 20 years. Pedri is going to be here for the next 10 to 20 years. Knock on the wood, obviously. I think a lot of other players, Ferran Torres, yeah, he's leaving soon. But the other players, Juan Garcia, who recently joined, is going to be here for the next couple of years. 8 Barcelona players in that Spanish team. It's going to be hard as a die-hard Barcelona fan to not root for Spain at the same time, right? But your heart is always going to choose Lionel Messi, and I understand that. If this was Kylian Mbappe, and he never had the World Cup, and it was between Kylian Mbappe and Cristiano Ronaldo, let's be honest, even us Madrid fans would always go for Cristiano Ronaldo to win his World Cup. But that's just me, right? I think everyone is with Lionel Messi. I think Ronaldo fans are with Lamine Yamal, shamelessly, obviously, very shameless. If you're a Real Madrid fan and you're with Lamine Yamal, do not talk to me, but it is what it is, man. I don't know. Me, myself, I have to be a football fan before anything. To give my prediction, I think it took me 30 minutes to say my prediction, right? But you guys love to hear me yap, but hey, here we are. My predictions. Now, on paper, Spain is a better team. We know that. Argentina lacked every single game, but I have called them multiple times during this tournament. They are literally the Real Madrid of the Champions League. This is exactly how it felt for Barcelona fans watching Real Madrid comeback after comeback, winning after winning after winning. This is how it felt, and now we're feeling that, right? But ladies and gentlemen, even if you have the team, the tactics, we saw in the France game, right? It does not matter at the end of the day. One bad game away from erasing everything you did in the past. That's what I always say. If Spain gets shook by Argentina, if Spain gets scared by Argentina's passion, if Spain gets intimidated by Argentina, they will easily lose this match if they wanted to, right? But Spain on paper has been so good. Better than England, better than France, but they beat Portugal. Look at their side of the table. Look at even their group stage. They had Capo Verde, who has unbelievable run, right? Uruguay. And the third, obviously, Saudi Arabia. They didn't play to their best, but they're still a good team. Their route was harder, I would say, than Argentina, if I'm being honest. Even the left side of the bracket was clearly easier than the right side of the bracket. Argentina was on the right, Spain was on the left, right? And I always say, even in the Champions League, every year when I do a predictions video, I always say the tougher side of the bracket, whoever wins most of those games on the tougher side deserves to win the final, in my opinion. And the easier side, Argentina, obviously, they came here easier. Not it wasn't easy, but it was easier than Spain's route, right? In my opinion, my brain is telling me that Spain should win, right? But at the same time, you have the Argentinian team. They don't give up. They have passion, and when you have a team that is willing to die on that pitch for Lionel Messi, for Maradona, for the history of Argentina, and then themselves they want to win the second World Cup as well. They're in the final now. They acted like that in the group stages and the knockout stages. Imagine how they would act in a final, man. I think my prediction, if you take it on paper right again, man, could Kukurea stop Lionel Messi? I don't think any defender in the world could stop Lionel Messi. But in my opinion, Kukurea right now is the best left back in the world. So it's going to be hard for Lionel Messi when he goes to the right? But Lionel Messi's football IQ is so high that Kukurea, you're probably not ready what he's going to do to you. Hopefully not, I don't know. And then you have the midfield, obviously. Insane midfield by Spain. Like, Spain has better midfield, better defense. They conceded 1 goal this entire tournament. Like I said, on paper, Spain is going to dominate Argentina, right? But considering that they're facing Argentina, the passion that they have, you can never know, man. And if they win genuinely on this final, fair effing play to Argentina, man. Passion will beat tactics every single time, man. It happened with Real Madrid during the Champions League runs. It will happen with Argentina as well. You know what? Screw it. I wasn't bold last in the semi-finals. I think I'm going to be bold here. Something is telling me that Argentina is going to win this final. I think Argentina wins this final. I think the inexperience of Spain's team, they lack age obviously, yes, but they still have some experienced players. Still, at the same time, I think fear might get to them. This Argentina team, all of them were in the last World Cup. Every single player, literally. They were in the final. They know how to handle pressure like France pressured them last World Cup. I think Argentina is going to win. Purely by passion and Lionel Messi. If I'm wrong, I'll rest wrong, right? Like I said, on paper, my brain is telling me Spain. My heart is telling me Argentina. I'm so sorry, Lamine Yamal. I'm so sorry. And this is not me being a Real Madrid fan and hating on Barcelona players. No. No, generally, no. I think between these two, I see Argentina going through. And that's that. I think he has his last dance. The last moment. You think those Argentinians will not give it their all in his last ever international game? And even if they did and Spain stops that, hey, Spain deserves it fully and clearly, right? If they don't, then congrats Argentina. Argentina is going to be your World Cup finals yet again. Lionel Messi is going to win the second World Cup. That is my predictions. What do you guys think of that prediction? Am I being delusional? I know the chances of Argentina winning is very low, but this is Argentina. This time I'm trusting them. I mean, I trusted them against Switzerland as well. They won against Switzerland. I said they're going to win against Switzerland. But against England, they shocked me. But in the final, you know what? I think Argentina is going to take it home. Thanks so much for this World Cup run. Thank you so much for watching every single video and supporting the channel. Obviously, more to come after the World Cup when football comes back. I'm going to cover everything football, obviously, here. Premier League football, definitely. Champions League football. Obviously, Real Madrid and Barcelona football on my main channel. That's that. Thanks so much. What is your prediction in the comment section below? Subscribe if you're new to the channel. Gracias, amigos.